Good evening. I'm Erica Lost. NATO forces bombed Serbia and Kosovo. An unidentified man is being held for questioning by the FBI for suspected links to last month's biological virus deaths. In local news, a dog named Hero takes the grand prize at the annual... I wish I could tell you more pertinent news, but we're in a rating system here, and the key factor is... sensationalism. They've got you running in circles, 9 to 5, then 5 to 9. You're mine. I tell you what they want you to know, and you consider it the truth. Nobody is opening their eyes. Our global economy is depleting the world of our lives and natural resources. And are you happy? Come on!
And we are live. Hello, everybody. It's me and Jacob. Mike is running a little behind because of the weather, so we can expect him here anytime between now and...
Weather.
Yeah, 30 minutes past.
What is this weather you speak of?
Oh, the wonderful ice. We're getting ice like crazy down here, so...
Oh, it was hailing today.
Yeah, I was out in the garage about a half hour ago, and I walked out, and the rain and everything was like, oh, hey, we're going to turn to ice. So it's icy as hell, and I know he came from here because we had our meeting today. I didn't make it, but, you know, I'm hoping it went pretty well because we did fun things today. I really wish I could have made it, but, you know, things happen.
Fun? What did you play with those elusive ghost guns?
Oh, I think they were. They were playing with those kits and toys and parts and springs. I wonder how many people lost their springs. And if you know guns, you know what we're talking about.
Hey, I need somebody in the comments to let me know. Did anybody lose an eye?
Did anybody lose an eye? Oh, God. But, yeah, so while we're here, everybody, thank you. Follow, share, subscribe. What's the other buttons?
Let's see. Bell notification on YouTube.
Yes.
Subscribe and hit the bell because subscriptions don't matter. You don't know anything. You like it.
Hello, Jane, Mike, Palmer, Jacob Willis. Share, subscribe, like, follow, share with all your friends. HeartlandDefenders.com, Heartland Defenders on Facebook and on YouTube. And all the links are in your descriptions. Facebook, you're getting yours right now as I am posting it because they don't let me do it previously. So I have to sit here and do it while we're streaming. It's kind of fun, actually. But
Facebook. Oh God, did you see have you seen any of the stuff from the CEO of Twitter? Oh my God.
No, what's going on now?
Oh, the echo chamber. The echo chamber stuff.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Jesus. We don't like echo chambers. Brexit, we don't want an echo chamber. No. We don't want to let that happen. I mean, it's totally cool to dox the shit out of some kid in high school because he's wearing a Make America Great Again hat. Let all the big media freaking socialists scream, shoot up the school and don't let him into college and everything else. But by God, if you have a conservative view on Twitter, you're creating an echo chamber. You're a bad guy.
Yeah, right. Oh, boy. Here we go.
Should have banned you.
Hello, Haley. Hello, Joe. I hope I said that's Haley. On Facebook as well. Yeah, Joe, it has been a few minutes since you've been on. But yeah, so the echo chambers, yeah, I know they've been really pushing both platforms have been really pushing well, at least when it comes to one side, they really are like, we don't want to deal with this.
Yeah, that's where the big discussion is it's like, hey, you guys can do all the echoing you want. Come to our side of the boat, they're like, ban.
Yep, right. Exactly. I mean, you've seen, heck, since we're on the subject, you've seen how many accounts Mr. Tommy Gunn's gone through. I mean, you see him, the account after account on Facebook, which is why he's really had to push a lot of his stuff over to YouTube. And even then, YouTube at some point tends to, will give you a hard time.
Oh, it was his. When it is original Tommy Gunn TV YouTube channel, they blocked and stopped all access to, and
yes,
he had to convert a fish channel that he had.
Yep. Oh yeah.
It's a sad state of affairs when.
Well, I mean, he's gotten another channel again, thank goodness. But I mean,
when you're calling them on their crap and they can't actually answer the question of why are you banning these people but not these people? Well, it's because you broke our guidelines. It's like, okay, what guideline did I break? I don't know the details of that, but you probably should.
Right, and that's well, that's like the double standard I've been seeing. It's been going around, and I haven't tried it yet, but there's been a few people that basically it said something about how something about against, you know, it basically was like white people do this, blah blah blah, and somebody reported it because, you know, it could have been taken as, you know, kind of hateful. And they were like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong," but somebody replaced the word with white with Hispanic, and it was total. And they totally, when they reported it, it totally came down as hate speech. And it was like, wait, so just because it's one or the other, it means one's hate speech and one isn't, just because of one word changes that? I don't know, but they you know, I don't know.
Yep.
I think it came down to somebody was talking about the wall and blah blah blah, but when they replaced it with white, they were like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with this." And it was
no.
Yeah. But no, speaking of things that are wrong, House Bill 228. Oh my goodness, what did they do wrong?
Everything.
Well, yeah, somehow
every word. There's an entire section that's wrong.
Well, they asked, from what it sounds like is one of the editors that was editing it, or, you know, they paste something in the wrong section. They paste a whole, like, you know, over 26 inches and blah, 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 of your firearm can't be longer than 26 inches in the wrong section, which was the section that it was supposed to go in the omit section, and instead it went in the submit section when they submitted it. And, well, now, come March, 24th?
4th?
Something like that. If it comes into law, any firearm over 26 inches that has a hand grip, minus handguns, because, you know, whatever. And there was something else really strange. I can't remember what it was. The only thing that really was admitted long gun wise, yeah,
threaded barrel.
Threaded barrel was a weird one.
Threaded barrel, pistol grip. I don't think ours has anything to do with magazine capacity.
No, it didn't. But they did omit anything that was a muzzle loader that used cap fire to fire. So basically muzzle loaders. Yeah, but it was definitely one of those oopses. But what I did see, and I have not been able to confirm it, Charlie had posted something, I do believe, in one of our things here. Let's see if I can find it really quick. It was basically, yeah, Chuck LaRosa for Ohioans from Concealed Carry. Folks, we are expecting quick action on an emergency bill to fix House Bill 228 in the Senate next week, beginning on Tuesday. So everybody has been screaming last week about why there was an emergency session called, what's going on, why was the Buckeye Firearms, man, I don't want to give them any promotion. Why weren't they doing anything to hurry this up to try to fix it? There's people, I've seen people come straight out and say, look, we need to fix this. And if House with Buckeye Firearms, not even, they were sitting on their hands when it first came out, and they're like, oh no, there's no problem with it. And then they're like, oh yeah, that does need fixed, but they still didn't do anything. They just kind of sat on their hands. It took everybody freaking out for them to finally go, okay. And then this is where that week happens.
You gotta step back from it ever so slightly and realize that it takes a minute to get the wheels of the government to move. So I mean, yeah, we can all freak out, but it's going to take a day or two for people to actually start moving.
Yeah.
In its own reality. Mm-hmm. It just does. It just does. It takes time for the bureaucracy to get up to steam and to do stuff. I mean, it's the reality of the game we live, you know, the game we play.
Yeah, well, and that's unfortunately it happened the way it did, though. I mean, it's making a lot of people look bad that were involved with that bill. Plus, that bill wasn't that great anyways. I mean, come on now. I mean, it did make it so, you know,
Well, if you want to talk, the best case scenario, now's the time to kind of fix some of the screw ups that happened.
Well, the only thing they plan on fixing is
fix this screw up. Go ahead and throw stand your ground in there.
They're not going to do that. There's no way they can do that.
I mean, you already yanked it out. Just throw it back in. Hey, you guys screwed it up to begin with. Now fix it better.
Yes, Jason, I'm here. I didn't make it to the meeting. The $100 bill everyone got to attend. Hey, now. I know that was not the prize.
Is that the special prize?
Hey, well, that must have been the special prize this week. Damn.
Everybody getting a $100 bill. I would have stayed the night last night if I'd have known I was getting $100 just to show up.
Hey, I know, right?
I mean, with us talking about House Bill 228 here, and it being such a screw up, in the submitted or omitted sections of House Bill 228, the article that we posted up on the Heartland Defenders Facebook page today about Illinois, and the lawmakers there only being in session for 16 days since 2019 started and already pushed 7 different backdoor gun laws.
Oh, yeah, and they had to shoot them all down? Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, I'm just kind of going through this list right here. I mean, this Illinois Senate Bill 337 requires all federal licensed firearm dealers in the state of Illinois to also obtain a state license.
What?
So not only do you have to go through all the background checks for federal, now you got to go through it for state.
That sounds like that's not going to promote people having good business.
Oh, it also requires all licensed firearm dealers to submit to inspections. Well, state can just come in and say, no, that's not right.
Federally, that happens anyways. When you're an FFL, you can submit to an inspection
federally
at any time. Yeah.
Federally, this is giving the state all this. The one that really catches on this one is creates an electronic transaction history that can act as a de facto registry.
Oh, hell
so
no.
It creates a database of everybody that buys.
It's nobody's business what I own. Nobody. Not our state, not our government, not anything. I will say that now. No way. It's none of your business.
I mean, if you guys, I'm not going to read all of them. There's 7 different bills that they've pushed in Illinois already, but there's quite a few similarities between some of the bills they're pushing in Illinois and what's accidentally, and I'm going to say it that way, what's accidentally got put into House Bill 228.
Yeah, I love how it accidentally happened, how it was accidentally there, but yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I knee-jerked when I first saw it, and I will admit I took it down because my knee-jerk was a bit more, it was a little brutal towards Buckeye Firearms. I'm not sure...
Jeremy, I'm looking at I'm looking at the second one on this list for Illinois. Right here it says, makes it a crime for anyone in possession of the newly designated assault weapons, rifles over 26 inches, anything with a threaded barrel or a pistol grip.
But rifle over 26 inches? My freaking 22 rifle.
I don't disagree with you, but Illinois says right here, from Illinois it says right here, anyone in possession of the newly designated assault weapon to retain ownership has to file paperwork basically creating a registry.
No, not okay again.
It also makes them a criminal if they possess it, retain ownership of said firearm for more than 300 days after the bill becomes law.
Well, they're just giving you time there, yeah.
If you say, I will not comply.
Oh, yeah.
You're 300 days later, you're...
Well, look at Colorado and their 30-round ban that they've got going on there.
That's in this same Bennett. Bans any semi-automatic rifle or handgun with either a fixed or removable magazine that can hold more than 10 rounds at a time.
I'll tell you what.
Same exact bill.
You can expect the same. If they pass that, you can expect the same thing to happen there that happened in Colorado when they banned the 30-round mags. How many people turned in their mags? Not a single person.
raise of hands for everyone that owns a shotgun that has a magazine capacity greater than 5 rounds.
Wait, that's every pump shotgun out there.
Ban shotguns with magazine capacities of greater than 5 rounds.
That's, oh my God, that's every pump shotgun, standard hunting shotgun, pump shotgun.
That's number 2. That's number 2.
Wow, here we go.
I mean, what we can say right now is we are at least, I'm not going to say blessed, but we're lucky that we have the firearms environment we have here in Ohio.
Yeah.
That they got hit so fast from that screw up with 220, because it's really hard for me to believe that it just was an accident. Sorry, guys, we just put it in the wrong spot. No, they put it in there and hope to God it would just done.
And that's yeah. They were hoping we'd overlook it and not see it until it was too late. That's what I'm thinking here in Ohio. That's going to be my thinking, is that I think certain people over at BF, I'm just going to say BF because I'm not going to give them the promotion. I mean, whatever. But they tend to, I think people are looking to possibly run for some kind of seat sooner or later, and are trying to get in good with certain people and try to.
I said that.
That's what I think.
I said that when the picture came out.
I lost my mind when that stuff came out, and they talked about that got squeezed in there. I lost my crap. I wrote and I posted, and then I realized, man, that's a bit rough after about 15 minutes, and I cooled down. Guys, I always try to do the don't post anything until you've cooled down, but it happened. I took it down. It was a little rough on him. I probably still will be a little rough on him, but I didn't want to jump to conclusions. Just like I didn't jump to conclusions to Mr. What's his name that happened in Chicago? Mr. I don't even remember the actor's name. That got jumped.
Jesse Simonet or whatever it is?
Yeah, that got jumped. And claimed that it was 2 guys
fake news.
MAGA hats.
Fake news.
Well, fake news. It was a fake report, a false report. They interviewed that they found 2 guys that ended up being a part. They saw in the area on the cameras, interviewed him, and found out that he. This is from CNN. That reports are coming in from the police department that they were paid to, and that they were actually rehearsing doing exactly what they did. And now that it's so, what's going to happen to him now that he falsely reported that? Is there anything you think going to happen to him?
Oh, I've seen, and again, I said this to you earlier, Jeremy. I'll say it to everybody on here. I read so many articles, unfortunately, trying to keep everybody else up to date with stuff through our vast social media networks. I kind of get a blur every day, but I've seen a couple of articles that are saying that he's already got in contact with a criminal defense lawyer.
Yep.
So
Jane,
why would you need a criminal defense lawyer if you're the victim?
Jane, you are correct. One of them was actually on the same show. And there was also some talk of one of the reasons he pulled this is because they were writing his character out of the show, and he thought maybe.
Well, they very quickly said, "Oh no, we love him. He's never going away." And
okay, well, that's oh goodness gracious, the world things. Do you think? I don't think anything's going to happen to him. He's going to get a defense lawyer. This is going to blow off to the wind, and I think nothing's going to happen to him. I really do, and I think that's crap for what he stirred up.
Well,
I really do.
Who was it that held up the disembodied head of Trump right after the election?
The dummy head of it. Yeah.
Yeah. What comedian? She's still relevant,
right? Nobody.
How many stood on a? How many, the Oscars are what, next Sunday or whatever? Mm-hmm. $100 says every one of them's got anti-Trump something spilling out of their mouth, or anti-American something spilling out their mouth.
Well,
ain't none of them going to get busted for anything.
So I know this is going to be touchy, and I'm going to tread lightly on saying this, but imagine...
Is it a can that I'm going to open?
No. Well, it could be. But I'm going to be careful on how I say this. Imagine if it would have been one of the past couple of presidents, if somebody would have done that with the fake head thing to any of the past couple of presidents.
Oh, well, I wouldn't even say past couple of presidents. I mean, unless you're if you're counting past couple of presidents as the last 2 terms of presidency. I personally think that with the prior presidency, it would have been. I mean, there was that kind of stuff floating around with the Bush.
Yeah.
But the last 2 terms of presidency, oh my God, they would have been hung from the rafters by their ankles and flogged with rubber hoses if a picture like that would have flown around. It may be out there on the dark web, pictures like that, but it wouldn't have been broadcast on major network media.
No.
Like all the stuff is now. I mean, the Snoop Dogg rap video that came out where he had the orange painted clown dressed like the president.
Oh, yeah.
And he pulled the gun out and it shot out the word bang. I mean, how many politicians have called for assassination?
Yeah. And nothing has happened. I mean, a few years ago, that would have been a major no-no, just publicly calling that out. Huge.
I mean, you've got Congress passing unanimously. This is an article that we posted up a couple of days ago for no anti-Semitic speech allowed. I mean, the fact that we even have to have that written down is just a cause for what is going on?
Right.
Why do we have to write this shit down? I mean, it dumbfounds me. It dumbfounds me. And the fact that it's like you wrote it down, you had to write it down and push it. And then you don't actually call the person that you're writing it about out. You just say, well, yeah, it's that one person screws up, everybody gets punished concept.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's really what it is. We don't want to offend you, but you really can't talk like that anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. No, and then, yeah, dang it, hang on here. My screen just went blank. There we go. Goodness, I'm like, no, did we lose?
Just eating up that time till the Cosper gets in here. I bet he got a lot to say.
I'm sure he does, and I'm sure we're going to end up hitting a couple of these again. If anybody wants to talk about anything, go ahead, throw it in the chat. If we know anything about it or can talk about it, we will. If not, we'll go ahead. We'll try to use it again next week or get back to it. I mean, any questions or anything about any of it? Yes, Mr. Palmer, I've gone ahead and broken down all my 30-round mags as well and preempted.
I actually took mine out, tied rocks to them, and threw them in the river.
Yeah. Don't, make sure...
All of my 30-round magazines thrown in the river.
Don't accidentally, drywall them in somewhere. That's still possession technically. Oh, yeah. Don't bury them. That's still kind of possession. If you get caught.
Well,
I don't have any in here. I was going to start waving one around, but...
all of my 30-round magazines.
Uh-oh.
Went for a walk the other day, and
oh boy.
They came back in a little dirtier. But...
and empty. Damn.
Hold on.
No. Why are they going to be empty?
They're going to make pull out the cases and shit.
What if your dog buried them?
Nothing's empty, Jeremy. Nothing at all's empty, son.
Oh. You're going to have another loading party.
Have you seen those? We do a lot of gun shows.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Heartland Defenders. We go to a lot of gun shows. There's a guy here down around my section of the state.
Yeah.
Seen him at 2 or 3 of the gun shows that we've gone to so far this year. He sells a CNC milled out of a hardened plastic speed loader. So it comes with the hardened milled loader.
Okay.
He charges, what is it? I want to say it's like 55, maybe 60, 65 bucks.
Yeah, you can make those out of wood, too.
Well, his a do, according to him, his a do 5.56, 223, 300 blackout. Then he's got one to 7.62 and other stuff, and it'll never wear out. It'll never wear down.
Yeah,
like
the wood ones might wear out or wear down. I don't know. Plastic is plastic, though. You never know.
I just watched him one day because we were sitting there doing our sales side, and he's over there right across the walk from us, and just done.
Yeah.
Here you go.
30 rounds.
Done.
Yeah.
Here you go. Done. Here you go. I'm like, God, I need to get me one of those.
My fingers tells me to get one of those because, good God, I do about 10 magazines.
The best was go out and get yourself a bandolier and some old steel magazines. Get you one of them speed loaders on the back.
Oh yeah. Get
you a stripper clip. 10 rounds of pop. Stripper clip it in.
Yeah.
Take it to the edge of the table and just. That's fun too, but you'll wear the shit out of the table.
Yeah, I'm sure. No, I've got a router and stuff. I could probably make myself one of those out of wood and stuff. I just need to make time. I'm already making knife sheaths. That's what I was out in the garage doing before the show. When I'm like, oh no, show's in a half hour.
I was eating dinner. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, my headset don't want to stay on today. There we go.
Mine's jumping all around here.
No, there's one spot on mine somewhere because these are gamer headsets, and there's a plastic piece that explodes if you have too big of a head, and mine's definitely too wide. And the one piece exploded. Half of it's been replaced with super glue.
Haley, I just caught your question down there. If the dog buried your magazines, as long as they're not steel magazines, you're good because you can't take the metal detector out there and find them.
Will the spring not pull the metal detector?
Shh! God!
I mean, I'm just bury them deeper. I mean, you got to think about regular metal detectors.
Jeremy, you're ruining it for us, man. Yes, the spring inside the plastic will still.
Well, I don't want people getting caught because they didn't bury them deep enough.
No, these are the only two I have left, and it's for memories. I plan on destroying them after this video. ATF, just to let you know.
ATF, well, no. Mine, none exist ever. Nah, but I mean, that's crazy.
I got the best one for you. I'll be right back. I got the best one for you.
He's got the same stuff set up as I do. I got stuff over there, Wait, what the?
Anybody know what these are?
Aren't those 22 mags that fit into an AR lower for a 22 upper?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
how many 22s can fit in that? 30? 50?
A few more than 30.
50?
Somewhere around 50, I think.
Okay.
But did these become illegal?
Well, yeah. Anything over 30, anything over, what is there talking about? 11 rounds?
10 rounds?
Yeah.
10
rounds. 10.
And I'm almost willing to bet you if you really dig into that 10 round magazine capacity bullshit, that if it's 7 plus 10 plus 1,
that's illegal.
They'll get you on the plus 1. It'll have to be 9 plus 1 to be legal.
No, that's gonna be so. To be legal, you'd have to go buy all new mags.
To be legal, you have to go buy all new.
Well, not a new gun. If they make, say for like the Glock, I will say 17 because the Glock 17 holds 17 plus 1. So you could do the 17 and do 9 plus 1 and make the mags so they can't hold anything more than 9. mean, they
Well,
have
but-
Glock 17 mags now that only hold 10 rounds for 9mm.
Well, that law I just read from Illinois. Any shotgun that has the capability of holding more than, what was it, 5 rounds, 6 rounds?
Nah.
Was it 5 rounds? Any shotgun that holds more than 6 rounds.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, my shotgun right now in my house is set up for Ohio law, 2 in the tube, 1 in the chamber.
Mhm.
Right? 3 rounds. That's hunting.
Yep.
3 rounds. Does that make my shotgun in compliance with that law? Or because it can actually, without the plug, hold more than 5 rounds, it's still an illegal shotgun?
Does it take tools to get the plug out?
Yeah, my hand. It's just a screw cap.
So you unscrew the cap, pop the plug out, plop the spring back in, boom,
Oh,
you're ready to go.
They do make plugs that go in, and they go in and out the same way. But all mine is a dowel rod. I just got a dowel rod and cut it to a certain length and put it in there and kept whittling it down to the point where it was just enough that I could put 2 shells in and not a third.
Huh. So, Mike Palmer. So my question will be, they said magazines. What if I switch to belt fed?
I am enjoying that statement. Thank you.
Very, very good, Mike. No, I'm sure they'll figure some wording to make it so belt fed is completely not okay.
Well, that's just no. That's just an even. If a magazine is scary enough to classify it an assault weapon, by God, a belt fed's gonna be, world ending.
I mean, well, because the ammo box on the side isn't considered a magazine, correct? It's just an ammo box.
I've never heard an ammo can classified a magazine.
I'm just,
It's an ammo can.
Or, just holding the belt right over your arm. It doesn't matter.
I mean, we can get all sorts of crazy on this. We'll build a backpack for that belt. You seen the backpack minigun?
Oh, yeah. Well, the one that's not even a backpack anymore. They've got a couple that are now, like, ridiculous, and it's all in the minigun. The battery, the everything's in the minigun now. And I'm like, oh, that's glorious. Oh, you've got the ammo box on the one side, the motor, and then a battery next to the ammo box, and it just, oh my goodness. Oh.
Jacob, you're just safer to keep the damn plug in. That's all it is.
Oh yeah, because they can be like, well, if you don't have a plug in there.
They can change the law all they want, but you can't shoot more than 3 times. And if an ODNR officer hears more than 3 shots consecutively, they don't care if you got 20 in your pocket. If they hear more than 3, they're taking your weapon, and you're going and paying some money.
So just make it so it's not possible.
Just
put
the stick in the damn thing and call it a day.
Yeah, I would agree.
But that's not the question. The hunting law isn't the question. They've illegalified, or however you want to call it. They've added laws, removed laws, changed laws, done laws. It doesn't matter. You still can't only shoot more than 3 rounds. So the plugs. I haven't hunted in 7-8 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, that's me.
Just leave the stick in there. The question is not, does the stick matter when hunting? The question is because my shotgun holds more than 5 rounds. Without that stick, does it make it illegal under the law that is proposed in Illinois?
Yeah, and
because in that case, Jeremy, then you'd have to go buy new guns. You would have to go buy a new shotgun that only holds 4+1.
Yeah, I would suspect there would be something where the plug would have to not be able to just be quickly removed. Like I know all you got to do is unscrew the cap, pop that out, or pop it back in. They're gonna want something more like it takes a tool or something to take it out.
In my head, it's the same concept as you can buy a tank. It just can't be functioning.
You just can't use the gun.
the bang buttons can't actually work.
Yeah, don't you have to have
they
the thing
weld
like
a giant plug in it.
Yep.
They weld a giant plug into it. So
still though, owning a tank with a plug in it would still be amazing. Now, here's the thing
with
though.
you, but
could you also own spare parts that may not have the plug in it?
See that it's right. I mean, just from the article, that we posted, it doesn't go into all the fine detail. It's bullet points of this, and this.
Just have, the tube with 3 rounds and then have a tube magically that holds 6 rounds.
We've said it for how many episodes have you heard me say? It's not what they'll do. It's when will they stop? Because I mean, okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll let you. You can tell me I can only have 5 rounds. Okay, cool. Well, I'll put this. You know what? Sure, I'll put this stick in my shotgun. All right. I'll take the pistol grip off my AR. Does that work?
That's no fun.
I will take the pistol grip off my AR. Okay. Now it's not an assault rifle, right? I just have a standard buttstock trigger rifle.
Maybe
223 rifle.
Maybe if you just turn like the handguard everything to wood, you'd be okay.
Pistol grip. I mean, it's written in House Bill 228 that it's the pistol grip. It has nothing to do with the stock.
But I mean, for them to stop coming after it. I mean, I've seen guys make videos online where they've got a 223 rifle that has full on wood stock. One's full wood stock, wood foregrip, everything looks fine.
The one thing I saw at a House Bill 228 was the thumb hole. Not just the pistol grip. They've got it set up for the thumb hole.
Oh yeah. I saw that.
So if you were to make one of those fancy swirling gun stocks,
I actually have one bookmarked for plastic polymer one bookmarked and ready to buy. It's like $75 for my 870.
Thumb hole.
Yeah.
They have that in 208. I'm going to say right now, I mean, I'm sorry to bring it back up, but I don't think it was an accident.
They can bite me
on that one
because that's not going to change the performance of my shotgun at all, other than it's going to make it more comfortable to hold. My other question, and anybody in the comments that might have this answer to this, is threaded barrel. Does that mean the thread at the end of the barrel for the muzzle brake? Yeah.
Or a silencer or whatever?
Because the next thing after the threaded barrel is actually performance silencers. And what was the other one? The performance, I forget what they called them. But yes, it is the end of the barrel threading, which will make my 308 illegal once I go do it.
Yes, you can. You can put a suppressor on a threaded barrel.
But they don't want you to. That was the point of that.
Now a Glock. You can go out right now, buy a Glock barrel that's threaded at the end, and you put a little cap on it.
Suppressors
it's
are
for a suppressor.
Yeah, but suppressors are one of the dangerous ordinances listed under that dangerous ordinance list. That's on their. Yep. You won't even be able to have a federal stamp.
Is that going to get fixed?
Almost everything that they threw in there that everybody's freaking out about, yes. Because there was, when it originally passed, there was none of that in there. That's why it passed. Now, it somehow accidentally got thrown in there when they finalized it, after I don't know where about in the process that they finalized it that accidentally got pasted in the wrong place. Yeah, Mike Red, you're right. It is the barrel. Yeah, the end of the barrel. Because I want to go get my 308 threaded.
I knew it was because I'm looking at a 308 and it's like, well, it doesn't have a pistol grip. It doesn't have a magazine that holds more than 10 rounds. So it's completely legal. Oh, but wait, there's a fucking flash suppressor on the end of the barrel. So it's illegal.
Yes, depending on the flash suppressor, it could be. Correct.
Why?
Because they're scary.
Why. What
they're
does
scary.
it do?
It looks scary to people that don't know, I guess. I don't know.
Have you ever sat with a kid playing Call of Duty?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Listening to them yell about the different guns, and yes.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever watched the stats of the gun as they go through stuff like Call of Duty
oh, yeah. I've played the games, yeah.
So, have you ever noticed how the stats magically get better when you have a different kind of ammo? But they also get way better when you have a different optic, or you put a different stock on it, or you put a forward grip on it, not just the barrel shroud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally what these lawmakers think are happening. It's like, oh, well, they have a muzzle brake on that. Well, that's going to make it a super high power rifle. It's like, no, it just makes sure the fucking flash goes out, not.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's all it's doing. Is it's ensuring the flash goes. It disperses instead of just being boom there.
And that's that's crazy because
that's a threat of barrel. Well, and what you would end up seeing.
What makes it crazy is the stats, though. Is like the way the one thing I dislike about some of the gaming companies. Some of them do a good job, but some of them they take some of the stats and just because, like you said, a flash suppressor. The only thing it's really to do is to suppress the flash coming out of the barrel. That's it. But yet it gives the extra range. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And just until 5 years ago in some of the games, the
Division, the Division game, the Division, not Division 2, but Division. That was probably the worst game for firearms.
Oh yeah, well that was
logic.
That was because though the way they made that game, they tried to make it so it wasn't real. I mean, they tried to make it realistic, but when it came to the weapons, there were so many add-ons to the weapons that you could possibly get, and the quality of the weapon, like, you know, basically they were like, the quality of the weapon makes it better, so the better the quality, the better the weapon. You know, that's just like saying, you know, buying freaking a Remington 5.56 compared to like a Daniel Defense or something like that.
Well, and it wasn't even that. You got a, you know, just easy thought, a police M4 versus a police M4, literally, according to the game. If you were rank 1, its power was 1,000. If you were rank 101, the same name of the gun, same stuff on it, its power was 27,802. So it just take your kids out and teach them how to actually shoot, because I'm sorry, a shiny nickel boron bolt carrier group doesn't make you shoot better or hit harder.
Right.
I mean,
here, I'm trying to fix this in here right now. Give me a second here. I'm trying to pull my screen up here where you can see, but it's going to take a minute here because it's not stretching the way I want it to. Okay, so I am going to show a screen here. You won't see it for a few seconds, but you got one of the streams pulled up?
Yep, I got one stream.
So here's the perfect example. So you look at some of these guns, and you look at this one right here. It's a Remington 870. It looks like a regular rifle. Okay, not scary, whatever. It does have a plastic, whatever, a polymer stock, blah, blah, blah. But if I scroll down here, you start to see the scary one down here on the right. Where it makes people go, wait, that flash, it's the exact same gun. The only difference is the foregrip on it, and then the flash suppressor and the stock change. That's it. It's the only difference. It's the same gun. It just looks a little scary there.
I mean, we're banging out of conversations, been beat over the head with
of course,
hammer and a buttstock and everything else.
That's the only reason they would have that.
There's hundreds of YouTube videos, hundreds of tweets, hundreds of thousands of Facebook posts where they've got a 2-2-3 with woodstock and a 2-2-3 with collapsible stock.
AR, yeah, basically an AR setup.
Yeah. AR setup, and random person B walks up and goes, "That one needs to be outlawed. That one's okay." It's the same fucking gun.
Yeah.
Here's the bullets. Or the best I've seen is the ones where they're like, "Okay, here's this, 308 woodstock straight rifle with a scope. Clearly, it's a hunting rifle. AR-15 with no optics, just big scary black gun." Then they're like, "Here's the bullets. See a difference?"
Yeah.
It's like,
come on. Where did everything just go? Dang it. There we go. My screen keeps going blank for some reason. I don't know why. I'll have to get that looked at. That's the screen where my hard drive went.
Haley is right in her statement. New shoes make you run faster and jump higher. The sad part about that, Haley, is back in the 90s, that is how kids really thought.
Hey, if it didn't have a pump, freaking
Reebok,
pump, you couldn't jump higher.
Reebok pumps. Pump that sumbitch up, and by God, I was dunking.
You know what? I could pump them until they popped, and I still wasn't dunking unless I jumped off the wall first.
White boy can't jump.
White boy's too short.
Well, for you, yes, but
Yep.
for me, not so much.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny, but no, I mean, as long as there was a wall, the backside with the padding, I could step up off that wall and go up and then do it. But no, I was out of bounds at that point in real games.
Oh, Palmer, you know what the difference between an AR-15 and a Ruger Mini 14 is. You know what it is. It's wood stocks, and Armalite didn't build it.
Yeah, well, it wasn't built after the Armalite image, Oh, goodness.
Well, that was a discussion that happened there on our Facebook page. Was somebody said, "Well, at least I don't own Armalites." When all the House bill and all that stuff, or one of the gun laws about it was coming up, and that kind of came to a conversation of, why do you say that owning it as an Armalite is different than just owning an AR? Well, it's not me. But
right. I don't know. I just think
there's a lot of
scary.
There's a lot of misconceptions, and a lot of people really probably should go to the gun range at least once in their life and really ask some knowing people.
That's why in the last video I talked about, teaching your kids to shoot. I mean, if you really think about, we didn't start having issues with kids being dumb with guns, and there were still accidents that happened. I mean, come on. Stuff accidentally fires. I mean, heck, my concealed carry gun, I'm carrying a different gun right now because of the issues that have come up with the FNS 9. What is it, Maryland and was it Kentucky or Tennessee? A couple of the police departments were having issues where during certain instances it would fire, which I don't know why you would ever hold your trigger down to begin with. But if the muzzle is done just like the Glocks are, where when we push the muzzle against something and pull the trigger, it won't fire. And then when you let go and pull the trigger, it will. Where on the FNs, when you pulled the muzzle off of whatever it was pushed into, if you still had the trigger pulled, it would fire. And officers were having issues with that, and I was like, well, why are you holding your trigger down to begin with?
Yeah, why are they pushing it up against something, holding the trigger in?
And
that's just kind of weird.
There was another issue where there was a trigger reset issue, which FN has tried to address. You can send it in if it's affected under the parts that were used, and they'll replace them for free. But is where you're what was it? shooting the gun, or if you did the same thing and it didn't fire, but then you tapped the gun with a hammer, it would fire. So if it ever got banged or something, but still, why are you holding your trigger in? I didn't understand that. So, but I don't carry it right now just because of the fact.
Hey, I know a guy that teaches very religiously this trigger discipline thing.
Oh yeah, what was the one phrase? Get your
booger hook off the bang switch.
Yes, there's a couple other ones, but that's the more appropriate one.
Oh, I know the other ones too, but I'm gonna stick with booger hook and bang switch.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yes. Which, by the way, I'll throw it out there. One of our members, John, he has concealed carry classes and defensive pistol training. I've been through the defensive pistol training. I loved it. I mean, shooting from draw. That's a lot of fun. I'm gonna tell you now. You're not allowed to do that at open ranges, but it's a fun class. It very much is. So hit us up.
Do we know this guy?
Direction. Oh yeah, he's one of our.
Do we know this guy? Is this something that we've done here? Summertime. This 2018.
He kind of went through a little bit of it with us.
A little bit of it.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, if
you're here in the state of Ohio, we know a guy.
We know a guy. We can hook you up. But if you also like other, you want to learn canning, you want to learn dry food storage.
We know a lot of guys.
We know a lot of guys and ladies. Yes. And then, so hit us up on our Facebook. We do have email through our. Go ahead.
The ha-ha funny part about it is right before coming on to the video tonight, I'm literally in the other room with the wife watching products to put into a homemade MRE. So for those coming to our May FTX, you may be privy to seeing a homemade MRE.
Nice. Now, do those have the O2 absorbers in them?
They'll have O2 absorbers, and I'm looking right now at having actual MRE bag heaters put in there.
Oh, wow.
But it will not be a standard. It's not going to be MRE pack food. It's going to be the stuff,
dry food, stuff like that.
The stuff you can buy at the store that's ready to eat concepts, and it's going to have the same caloric intake counts as a standard MRE. Mm-hmm. And it's not for long term. It's most definitely not for long term, as in like building a bucket for 20 people. This is literally to save yourself going out and spending 60, 70, 80 bucks on a box of MREs. Whoa. You can spend 40 bucks on the stuff to put in them. If you already have a vacuum sealer, you vacuum seal the bag. It's nice, tight, and compact. You throw it in your get home bag, bug out bag, whatever. It should last you, being vacuum sealed, should last you even longer.
Right. Well, but that's where Heather has some good ideas. She's also in the Heartland Defenders. She has some good ideas because she does a lot of backpacking, and with her backpacking trips and stuff, the heaters that come in the MREs add weight. She does a lot of meal setups to where she dehydrates stuff, makes her own meals, and then carries like a jet boil or something like that to use.
Right.
Then you do your own meals for and that's just for like your own bag yourself. If you're camping to feed multiple people, obviously you wouldn't go the route of a jet boil because you can only make, whatever's in that small canister of however big it is.
I've got to ask, in what MRE heater is adding weight? Because every MRE heater I've ever touched weighs less than an ounce or two.
Well, but I mean, you think about that though, the amount of every few ounces. She'll tell you when she did her backpacking trip in the summertime, she did 40 miles in 4 or 5 days. Every ounce really counted when it come to the weight of your bag. And like
I'm broken.
You're broken. But I mean, she went through.
Don't make me pull out my ruck. There's no I couldn't give a shit less about an ounce.
Oh, right. But I mean, it makes a difference though. Like when it comes to your bag, you'll notice that a few ounces here, a few ounces there. 16 ounces adds up really fast. So then all of a sudden you're a pound and you're going, wait. So now I've added an extra pound, and then you start realizing you're adding way more poundage than you really want to. So that's like I took back my my BioLite. I had a BioLite stove that I bought, and it charges your phone and everything through the heat, the thermal coupler that was in it, and it would charge your phone. It would charge all different kinds of things, run a fan or lights. I took it back because of the weight. I didn't like it in my bag. It was too heavy. It was a great...
Well, and in regards to the backpacking concept, backpacking is a different... It's a different...
Well, when you go with your
aspect of what we do.
Well, when it comes to like my go bag, I pick my go bag as if I have to carry it everywhere I go and walk. Now I have containers that I can throw in my car if for some reason I get around in my car, but I have a go bag that specifically can support me based off of just my go bag.
I agree, but we'll talk to anybody. An MRE, one that is shelf stable, it'll last you a good amount of time just sitting in the closet, in the bag, whatever. It's not going to go bad. An MRE, 1, 2, we're not talking a case of 12 in your bag. We're talking get home bag, 1 MRE, 24 hours worth of food, 1 MRE, and you're pushing it on 24 hours worth of food. You may be lucky to be getting 12 hours worth of food, but you can really stuff that thing full. Right. Maybe get a good 24 hours, especially if you ration it out.
Yeah.
But we're talking get home bag, throwing an MRE in there.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking of my bug bag where if I have to abandon my vehicle, I can grab that bag and not think twice about I have to dig through containers in my car. I can just grab my bag, grab whatever else I want, and go with it.
That's where an MRE, something that you can just leave in the bag, is good, because if you have time to rummage through the bucket or the tote or whatever that you have food in that scenario, you can grab it. But if you don't, and the only time you got is to grab that bag, at least you'll have something to survive, whether you can eat a lot of it or you got to eat a Skittle at a time concept.
Yeah, well, that's
over 24 hours.
Well, that's where, like, for me, the packaging and everything, looking at some of the stuff, incorporating some of the eating processes from, like, backpacking, because they really push on your weight, is how small and compact all that food is for your meals, and that you can have, like, a 7-day meal thing in, like, a rectangular thing that barely takes up room in your bag that would be about the size of 1 or 2 MREs.
And that's where the dehydration stuff comes in.
Yep, exactly. And dehydrating a meat, stuff like that.
And you can do that. An MRE just stands for meal ready to eat.
Yeah.
It's not meal ready to cook.
Yeah. It's
meal ready to eat.
And that's where, like, carrying a jet boil so you can heat your stuff without having to make a fire, that kind of stuff comes into play. But
that's where you get into all the little fissures all over the place when it comes to prepping and preparedness. And we could spend the next 4 hours talking about
right? I mean,
every little fissure
you could talk the next 4 hours about one bag, not even the multiple bags, which, while we're here talking about that, if you go to heartlanddefenders.com and hit the Defender Chronicles, there are multiple things in there from John, our instructor, our firearms instructor that we do have, that he has wrote about different types of bags and what usefulness they have based off of what you put in them and why you would put that in them. Go there, check them out. I mean, that's definitely, I like the Chronicles. I'm so glad we brought those back.
I mean, you've heard us. If you don't really know what we're talking about when we're talking about Get Home or Bug Out or Inch or any of that stuff, go check out that Defender Chronicles there on the heartlanddefenders.com.
Hey, check out the Heartland Defenders page. I mean,
get yourself a little knowledge, because I mean, even if you don't classify yourself a prepper, it's always a good idea to have that just in case thing.
Well, even if you're not a prepper and you're just somebody who's, like, You drive 20, 30, 40 minutes to work every day, and then you drive that back. Having a bag to get you to and from there, and here in Ohio, in this cold-ass weather, this icy weather, you slide off the road. Make sure you have stuff, that can help sustain you until the tow truck comes, till whatever. It's as easy as that. It's a bag for that. It's a container in your trunk for that for the wintertime.
It's just extra clothes.
Yeah. Shoes.
Extra clothes. I wouldn't even say shoes, Jeremy. A pair of socks. I'm going to tell you right now, if you've ever had soaking wet socks.
Oh, that sucks.
The relief you get by getting your feet out of them soaking wet socks and letting them boots dry out and getting a fresh, dry pair on, it's like heaven.
Oh, yeah. Oh, completely. Yes.
But if you slide off here in Ohio with this ice coming in, you slide off the road, middle of nowhere, your cell phone doesn't work. I mean, do you got a blanket? Because, hopefully you got enough gas to last all night if the engine's still running.
Right.
But if you're stuck in the middle of nowhere, I mean, that stores, you can go to Walmart right now, and I can almost bet you'll find a bag back on one of their shelves in automotive or in the camping stuff that says on the front of it, just in case. And it's got a little roadside flashlight, maybe a flare, maybe a pair of jumper cables, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What we're talking about is the same concept.
Oh, yeah, it's exactly the same concept.
Having the idea, and my work truck, because I don't drive a personal vehicle for work. I drive from my house in a work truck to jobs, back to my house in a work truck. I don't have one jacket that I'm wearing. I've got 3 different jackets in that truck. The reason why is I can't carry a pile of blankets, and I don't have a trunk to put all this stuff in. So I've got 3 different company name jackets in that truck that if I get stranded, engine dies, whatever, and I'm in the middle of nowhere and can't get a hold of anybody, I can at least have the one on, have one over my face if need be, have one over my legs the best I can.
Right. Yeah. And that's all, just comes to being prepared for different events, just things happening. I mean, because it always happens. I mean, you always end up, who knows, because no matter how good of tires you have, anything, you can slide off the road. I mean, you watch some of those videos online where people are piling up on the highway because it rained for 10 minutes and now everything's a sheet of ice. So, I mean, it definitely is good to keep yourself prepared in any aspect, not even, and when we talk about prepared and when we talk about prepping, here, I wasn't in the camera. Wait, here we go. Hands in different directions. There we go. Prepping. Oh, it's backwards on the screen. It drives me crazy. But being prepared for anything, like my dry food storage buckets, at our events that we have, our meetings every month, we tend to build dry food storage buckets. Those aren't just for like end of the world type stuff. If I get laid off and I need food, man, I've got buckets of food now that I can, that are stored away to where I can go in and be like, hey, I've got oats, I've got rice, I've got all sugar, I've got all kinds of stuff to make sure I have the basics until I get another job if I can't afford food in that aspect. And because I'm single male, I'm not going to end up with, anything to assist me. So, but anyway.
On that note, I'm going to say, Jeremy, you're not single anymore, buddy.
Well, you know what I mean. If I'm not going to be able to apply for any assistance, they're going to be like, well, you're single. I mean, single as in like, I got a girlfriend. Yeah, but there's still, things happen and, sometimes you need extra foods and stuff. But on that note, please check out heartlanddefenders.com. As you see on the screen here, here's the website. Go there. You can check things out. Defender Chronicles is right here. You can check out some of our last events. I mean, one of our last events was last September. We went to Moore. And
hey, if you go to the homepage right there on the front, there's a calendar.
Let's see.
We put stuff that we're going to be at on there.
Yeah. So you can see here's some of the stuff where we were at Moore last year. You can go through all that. Yes, the calendars. You can see what's going on with us, where we're going to be, what we're going to be at. We're definitely going to be at more again this year. And when I say more, for the ones that don't know, it's Mother of All Rallies at motherofallrallies.com. It is a Patriot fair
party
event. They have a bunch of speakers, many speakers from all over, patriots, from all different walks of life. I mean, it was an amazing event to be at last year, and I am looking forward again this year. I'm already looking at hotels and all that fun stuff already as well. So definitely check that out. If you can't go, but you want to help out, you can donate there. You can also donate to heartlanddefenders.com, help us out. Get some more of our people to go and help out at the event as well, because we'll be there. You'll see us in our wonderful Heartland shirts. Oh, mine doesn't say Heartland on this hoodie. And check out Heartland on Facebook. Yeah, Heartland Defenders on Facebook. And on YouTube, which is where we're streaming live at now as well. Let's see here. And then if you like anything we talked about preparing-wise, you want to know more, and you're in Ohio, come hit us up if you want to join. We do everything from, the normal Patriot Group stuff to the food preparing and making sure we're well-rounded and prepared. So if you are interested in any of that stuff, our group's a good group. I'm not saying that just because I'm in the group.
I would say the easiest thing to say to that, Jeremy, is you get out of it what you put into it.
Correct. Exactly.
If you're able to do, as in being active, coming to the meetings and events, even just in the state of Ohio, you get out of it what you put into it. If you've got the time and ability to do more, then you get out of it what you put into it. I mean, networking at places like the Mother of All Rallies is huge. I've seen and shook hands with some pretty big Patriot personalities. Is a lot of P's to throw out in one word.
Oh, that picture's not there either. I can't find it. With you, Mike, and Roger Stone.
Roger?
Yeah. I can't find
just
it.
Just go check my Facebook, guys. It should be my profile picture.
It should be somewhere on the Heartland Defenders page. I'm not going to dig through them. Waste you guys sit here and look at me digging through pictures. So, but thank you guys very much for your evening, for coming, watching.
Next Sunday
we will be live.
Next Sunday.
Same time, same bat channel, same everything. So thank you guys. Thank you again for your time, Jacob. And we will see you next Sunday, guys. Thank you.